Thank you very much. I learned a new word, Dena Derachu. Good to see you back. I'm Mekrez, and I'm here to speak about trading, the role of an equities trader. When you go to the Gebea, there's always a negada, isn't it? There's a negada. The market Gebea cannot go on without the negada. So I'm here as a negada, and as a negada, you need to be aware of the theme of the conference, which is inclusivity, connectivity, and sustainability for wealth creation or wealth growth, isn't it? So as much as you're selling your product, you need to be very conscious of the investor, and you have a policeman, the CMA, who's really taking care of the investor needs. So for you, as a negada, you need to be aware of that. Sell the right product at the right price and to the right customer, or to meet the needs of the customer. It will be a discussion. So we'll describe who the negada is, or the trader is. This is an individual who buys and sells shares. They can also be selling bonds. But for the purpose of today's session, we're talking about shares on behalf of the investors or the customer. So today, a new term has been introduced, the customer. In this particular Gebea of ours, the customer tends to be called the investor, okay? Because they have given money to the company. So we'll substitute the name customer for investor. And the negada seeks to execute the instructions of the customer efficiently and according to what the customer has indicated. And as they execute, they need to give the customer information as to why they should be buying this. That is the valuation bit. Why should we be buying an Amhara bank and not Dashan? Dashan, Amhara maybe is valued better than Dashan. You need to have that valuation and present it. And the Capital Markets Authority will continuously assess if you're doing the research so that that information is available to the customers, so that when they're making the decisions, they're well aware of it. So that by the time the customer comes to the Gebea, you, the intermediary, have already done your work, and it's now just to execute as a trader. Who are the stakeholders in this Gebea? We have the Capital Markets Authority, we have the Securities Exchange and the CSD, we have the investors, these are the customers, we have the research analysts, we have the back office and IT. I want to emphasize the need for research analysts, because in a previous presentation, you had the CMA said they will authorize the transaction, but they will not advise the customers as to whether that share is good or how it will perform in the future. That work then falls on the stock brokerage or the investment bank, and the trader is mandated to share that information with the customer. So research analysis is very, very important to understand the company and communicate it in a language that is easy for the customer. There was someone yesterday who emphasized the need for inclusivity. Right now we are in Addis, but for the trader, or for the negada, your customers will come from Adama, Bahir Dar, Jigiga, Gondar, Jima. Be open. Let's not have this product focused on the Addis area. I guess the larger population is outside Addis Ababa. And how do you speak their language? You may have to translate all this into Amharic. You may have to speak it in the local radio stations. And the research that you derive, or the information you derive about those companies, has to be broken down to the level of the investor. And we said that there are 350,000 to 400,000 customers right now trading on the OTC. This whole ESX will be a new product to them. How do we break down that information to their level so that then that capital can come to the market and help boost the businesses within the Ethiopian economy? The language we use is very, very important, broken down to their level. Back office and IT, of course, this is the processing bit and the settlement, but I would also like to mention that even as ESX sets up, these are also career growth opportunities for the population. We'll offer jobs to the population, and as stakeholders, you can start preparing and planning for that. Educate the staff. You yourself can set up the business to take the project forward. What are the potential risks when one is trading? For the negada, what do they have to be aware of when they are taking their wares to the market and advising the customer? The geopolitical risk. For this year and last year, most of Africa, we've been affected by what has been happening in the markets, the developed markets, the dollar issue affecting all of us. In the Kenyan market, we've had the foreign investors exit. A security like Safaricom, which had about 40 to 45% foreign investors, they've sold everything. Right now, local investors own about 92%. They've just been selling and taking down our prices. Why? Because there are issues happening around the globe. So be very conscious of that as a trader. As you come in the morning in the office, what is likely to affect our market? There is the regulatory risk, the government regulations that may affect listed entities' profitability, like in Kenya, in Ghana as well. I think in 2021, where a finance bill that had heavy taxation on companies that then reduce their profitability, which means their share prices will come down and the investment value of the customer goes down. There's the interest rate risk when we were speaking about debt. For a company, where this comes in is that companies have borrowed money from individuals, and also government borrows money from corporations and from individuals. When the rates go up, people will want to invest at a higher rate, yet the company cannot afford to pay that higher rate. So the company is devoid of cash, isn't it? So these are the key risks that will affect the valuation of a company. And so when we come to the daily activities of the Negada in their Gebea, when they wake up in the morning, I hope they had a good breakfast. When they come to the office, they need to review what is happening in the globe, what's happening regionally, and what's happening locally. And then follow up on the company news and try to interpret what is the expected impact of those news on our share prices today. You're in a team, you need to trade with other traders on behalf of investors. You need to brainstorm as a team, just what happens in a treasury function in the morning in a bank. And then, of course, you review what had you done yesterday and what was pending. And immediately after that, you make calls to your investors, to your customers, you source for business and update them on market news. In Kenya, in Nairobi, I haven't seen hawkers in Addis, but in Kenya, there are some hawkers who are very innovative. So they've audio taped themselves. So they come with a small radio and they keep announcing, Amhara at 20 bir, Amhara share at 20 bir. The radio keeps repeating. So for you as a trader, you need to keep calling your customers and updating them regularly of the product that you have, because the product may not just be offered by yourself. The customers may actually have requested for it. And then, of course, you ensure that the trading system is ready for the day by liaising with the IT and the securities exchange. In our market, the trading system is provided by the securities exchange, but with a lot of collaboration with the investment banks. So you have a system provided by the securities exchange, and internally you have your system which you use to confirm to customers. And in most instances, your internal system can be tweaked or can be changed so that customers can access trading through their mobile phones, through their laptops, etc. So that then we are very keen on the issue of connectivity. Instead of someone coming all the way from Adama to Addis to place their orders or to make a phone call to the Negada, why don't they just do it from the comfort of their home? And as Africa grows, we are headed towards the developed markets bit where the role of an investment bank now will just be to advise customers. I'm buying Amhara bank shares. Why Amhara and not Dashan? Because now the customer can self-service, from their mobile phone, from the comfort of their home. So this is before the market opens, what the trader needs to do. And any businessman will do this essentially. Then during the trading session, when the market is open, keep updating yourself on what's going on globally, because we have time difference aspect across the globe. And the fact that we are heavily impacted by what's happening in the developed market, and the US will be at work at 2 p.m. Eastern African time. You need to know from evening what's happening or what happened yesterday, which is our night time. And of course, follow up with investors for potential business. You need to liaise with other market players or your competitors, because sometimes you may not have the position the customer wants, but your competitor has it. Execute the trade as per customer instructions. And if any errors happen during the trading session, you're advised to correct it before the day ends. So this is how the Nairobi market looks like. Our market opens at 9 to 9:30. We have what we call a pre-open. At 9:30 to 9:31, a 1-minute session of price setting. It's an auction, what we call a raffle. And then at 9:31 to 3 p.m., the market is open for continuous buying and selling. So as a trader, you're not just seated there looking at the screen. You're engaging your customers. And when the market ends, obligations to all customers, confirm all trades to them, send them the trading summary to the back office and also to the customer sometimes, and then compute how much you have made for that day, because the reason you're trading is to make money as you meet the customer need. But how do you make money as a trader or as an investment firm or as an investment bank or as a stockbroker? I've used the Kenyan case. Our commission structure is as follows, but I've used Amhara Bank and I have assumed a share of Amhara Bank goes for 20 brr. The trader makes money through the brokerage commission. 0.36 is statutory levies. So the broker or the trader works very hard to increase the 686 brr. So that's why you have to continuously engage your customers. And as I mentioned to you, I took a case of Kenya, the commission structure, but used an Ethiopian company. And as I was reading about Ethiopia, I came across this proverb, we like it in Kenya, there are no better witnesses than your own eyes, okay? I don't know how you say it in Amharic, but it's a very famous proverb in Kenya. We use it a lot. After market close, as a trader, you need to discuss with colleagues on the trading desk about the day's experience. What deals did you miss? Which ones did you get? Can you get more business for tomorrow? Call back your investors, tell them about the opportunities that are available, companies that have announced their results. And now for the trader, what makes an equities trader successful? Number one, continuous education. I guess as ESX sets up, it will be maybe initial education, but once you have the initial skills, continuously read wide, get certain certifications like CFA, the CC, etc. Good organization, communication, and budgeting skills are important. Have excellent customer experience or customer service. Be a networker with stakeholders through conferences, meetings, and calls. And of course, be a good team player, isn't it? And for any negada, I guess this applies to all businesses, right? A good name is better than a good perfume. And I learned that it is said, Torusem ulem toruno in Amharic. Yeah, take care of your name, ulem, because more customers will keep coming back to you. Thank you.
So whoever said you need to learn any language between the age of 1 and 7 has been proven wrong. That scientific finding needs to be revisited all over again. But thank you, Eva, for that presentation.